Okay. Hi, Jane. Hi, Kate. My name is David. I work for Student Conflict Resolution, Student Conduct Services. And so you are both here to do a mediation. And so before we get started, I have a couple of things, just more of some administrative ground rules that I want to go over. Number one, this is voluntary. And so we only continue this process so long as both people are consenting.
So I can leave at any time?
Anytime. So at any point you're like, I'm not really feeling this isn't being constructive, you can do so. Also, if at any point you're like, I need to speak with the mediator just one-to-one, you can also do that. So long as you understand that I will also then give time for the other person as well. Make sense?
Yeah. What if she starts attacking me?
That's what I was going to go next.
That's her fault, actually. She's going to start it all.
I need y'all to give me the time to spread the rules first, and then we can get into it. Yeah, so that's a good point. So do know that at any point, I would advise not to go into name-calling, negative attacks, and negative judgments. You're really speaking to what you feel is going on. Does that make sense? So how this is going to work, and we can decide who wants to go first in a second.
I'll go first.
Okay, like I said, it's a we process. So what's going to happen is we are going to decide who wants to go first. And then, so Jane, if you want to talk first, you'll get 2 minutes or 2 to 3 minutes to speak. And then Kate, you will also get the same amount of time. Whoever goes first can yield their time. It's just we want to make sure. And then what we'll do is once both parties have shared, you are going to reflect out. So what that means is, Jane, you are going to reflect and repeat and summarize what Kate has said to make sure you have an understanding, and then vice versa. Kate, you are going to summarize what Jane has said so you have a good understanding. Does that make sense? Cool.
Sure.
Great. So, Jane, I know you had spoken up that you wanted to go first. Do you still want to?
No, she can go first.
Kate, is that okay if you go first?
No, I want her to go because I want to understand why she made us come here in the first place.
Okay.
You consented.
I'm only here because I got the email that said I needed to come here, and apparently there's a problem between us. If you would have just paid your bill, you would be fine.
This is not about the bill. This is about bigger things.
Abby? Oh, shoot. Sorry. Jane, I need you to speak first, and then Kate, we're going to make sure that we're not interrupting at any point, okay?
I'll try.
I swear to God if she interrupts me.
Okay. We don't need swearing or anything to threaten. We're just going to make sure it happens. So, Jane, when you're ready, you can speak what you feel, and then Kate, again, we really want to work on just listening to hearing what's going on. And another thing I want to focus on, Jane, you're not talking to me, you are talking to Kate. So I want you, as you can see, the chairs are postured that way, so that way it's really important. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, Jane, why don't you tell us what brought you here?
Well, I was just minding my own business, living in my apartment, doing my own thing, and Kate over there had someone sleeping in my bed. And I had just come back from the night. It was a long day. Like, I had just gotten back from my boyfriend's house. We had fun. We went to Horsetooth. We went out on a date. He bought me flowers. We went out to dinner. And I was, like, super excited to just go and sleep because I have a lot to do tomorrow. And there is a stranger in my bed, passed out, smelling
not a stranger.
Smelling like alcohol. Please don't interrupt me. And I don't even drink. That's not okay for her to bring someone totally drunk off of his ass into my bed. Like, that's disgusting. I'm going to have to buy a new mattress.
And what else has been going on?
Well, she keeps leaving me these, like, passive-aggressive notes around the house saying that I haven't paid the bills. And then she, like, instead of just saying, yo, pay the bill, and I'd been like, cool, she just leaves like a passive-aggressive note on the front door. Just like, that's such a crappy way to start your day. And then to make things worse, like, she doesn't do her chores around the house. Like, what the actual F? Like, if you're gonna tell me to pay the bills, you'd better gosh darn take out the effing garbage. Because, like, hello, hypocrite. I mean, not like, I'm not saying she's a hypocrite, I'm saying I feel like she's a hypocrite.
Okay.
And that's all I can remember now. I'm just so angry.
So it sounds like, Jane, that one, your space is really important to you.
Yeah, it's my, like, I have a door for a reason, conduct officer. And
You just call me David. It's okay.
Dave. And so if she goes through my door. That's seriously not okay. Like, I never touch her stuff, and just because she expects me to stay the night at my boyfriend's doesn't mean I do that all the time.
So it sounds like there's also a little bit of lack of communication there too.
Well, she wouldn't need to communicate if she just stayed out of my room.
Okay.
I don't think we need to communicate about boundaries because it's my effing room.
And then you also brought up something in regards to the chores,
Yes.
and that makes it sound like it's really important for you to have both people pulling their weight.
Yeah, especially when, like, it's your thing. Like, on the refrigerator, we have, like, our schedule, and she's got take out the garbage. And if you're gonna get mad at me for, like, accidentally forgetting to pay the bill, like, past one day, and you're not gonna take out the garbage when you know it's your responsibility, like, what the actual fuck?
Is that all you want to share?
I can't think of anything else right now.
Okay. So we're going to transition to Kate. And Kate, again, I really want to emphasize that you're speaking to your experience and what you feel, and not just make this a rebuttal. So I don't need you to go line by line through what Jane said and say, here's all these proving wrong points, but you have your side too. And then, Jane, you're also going to make sure that we don't interrupt and we just allow Kate to speak about what's going on. Can we agree to that? All right, Kate.
Okay, I just feel like you don't even want to be my friend anymore. You're never home, you never want to hang out with me, and it's just like, I didn't even want to live off campus. We're only off campus because of you, and that's not fair to me. And you just decide that you're not going to pay our bill on time, and I don't have the money to pay our bill all by myself. I need your help in all this. Like, we decided together that we were going to live off campus, and now you're not going to pay for it. Like, that's not cool. And then you're never there anyway. So it's like, I just feel like you always leave me all by myself, and I don't appreciate that at all.
I work 20 hours.
You spend
Jane,
all your
remember
time
our
with your boyfriend, and that's not cool. I don't care. Like, you're the one who wants me to live there with you. I could have just been on campus. I could have been closer to my classes. I could have had food on campus already, and now I have to live here off campus all the way down here that I have to take a bus so I can get to my classes on time. And, you know, I just, like, it's not fair that you're never there and you never decide you want to pay everything on time.
Okay. Okay, is there anything else you want to share?
I don't know. I don't want to be here. I don't like this. She just needs, like, to talk to me.
So I'm hearing a lot of things. One, it sounds like the decision to go off campus didn't feel like completely yours.
No.
It also sounds like you're kind of feeling a little bit lonely in the house. And it also sounds like financial... Hang on, Jane, we'll get there. It also sounds like finances are also a big part of that, in that you don't necessarily have a ton of financial means to be late or anything like that. And that's what I'm hearing. Is there anything I'm missing?
I think those are the main things right now.
Okay.
Can I say something, Dave?
So long as Kate can then also say something, should she feel the need to. Before you do that, Kate, it also sounds like you said, I don't really want to be here. Do you need to take a break? Or are you good to keep continuing this process?
I'm okay for now.
Okay.
Can I go now?
So long as the rules are respected and you are addressing Kate still.
Okay. I need a notepad so I can remember what she's saying about me. But anyways, first of all, you signed up for this. Like, yeah, it was my idea to go off campus, but you could have said, no, I want to stay on campus, and I'd be like, okay, cool. Like, honestly, like, I don't have a lot of time for a social life, but you're not my only friend. So I could have found someone else, like Raquel or, like, LaQuisha. I could have lived with them. You didn't have to say yes. You could have stayed in Corbett, and everything would have been fine. You could have done your own thing, whatever. Second off, you said I'm not around very much. I work 20 hours a week, and I take 18 credits, and I put school as, like, one of my top priorities. So I'm not going to be wasting my time sitting around my apartment, being lazy and watching Netflix. I'm going to be doing homework, working, or going to school. And I'm really, like, I'm sorry, but, like, before I would have loved spending time with you, but now that you're being so passive-aggressive, I don't even want to spend time in the apartment anymore. And if my stuff's going to be disrespected, it makes me feel like I have to, like, skip class so I can make sure she's not, like, sleeping in my bed or sleeping with someone in my bed. That's just disgusting. And there was one more thing, but I forgot. Oh, yeah. You kept saying that I spent all my time with my boyfriend. Well, I'm sorry that I have a good relationship. But the thing is that you have to try to make relationships work. And I know you're jealous about Steve because you told me, well, she didn't tell me, but she was on the phone. I overheard her because the walls are as thin as dorm walls at that apartment complex. You were dissing Steve, and every time he comes over, you are so mean to Steve. And Steve's, like, honestly the best guy in the world, and I don't want anything to happen to him, and I feel like you're just, she's, like, abusing him to me, and that's not okay because he's someone that I really care about, and for you to do that, it's like you don't even care about me anymore. And the rent thing was one time, and I totally understand, like, I should have paid the rent on time. I just, like, my paycheck was delayed, but, like, it was one time, and I'm not, like, it's not like I do it over and over again. The bigger issue here is the way that she's treating Steve, the way that she's, like, being so mad that she doesn't spend time with me, which, whatever, and, that she's being so passive-aggressive. Like, she could just say, yo, you forgot to pay the rent, and I'd be like, yo, sorry, my paycheck came in a day late. Chill.
Okay. Kate, I want to give you a chance to say anything that you may feel. And then Jane, respecting the rules again, no interrupting.
I won't flip her off either.
Thank you.
I just feel like we were best friends last year, and this is just not working out, and I don't think that that's okay. Like, I feel like we talked so much last year about everything, and I could come to you about anything, and now I don't feel like I can because you're never around for me to come talk to you anymore. So I have to leave the notes because you're not there for me to tell you. Like, you could have just told me straight up, like, hey, my paycheck's gonna be late, like, I can't pay the bill on time. Like, I mean, like, I just need to know these things because it is in my name. I do need to know, like, that I won't be able to pay it on time because now we have this late fee that I'm gonna have to pay, and I just don't appreciate that. And I don't feel like I'm that rude to Steve. I don't particularly like that he's taking you away from me. I thought we were best friends, and now, like, I feel you only want to spend time with him and not me. And yeah, I am jealous, but that's because Steve is taking my best friend away from me, and that's not okay with me.
Okay. So checking in, how are we feeling? Are we good to still continue with this process?
Can I respond to what she just said?
Absolutely. Okay, is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. You're totally right. I should have told you about, like, the rent thing. Like, got it. But we're missing the bigger picture here. Some random drunk-ass guy slept in my effing bed. What the actual F?
Okay, do you want to respond?
That was one time, and he actually was not supposed to be there, like, to stay the night, and that was all his fault for getting that drunk. I just wanted to make sure he was safe and not driving out, and our couch is disgusting right now, and I just
now my bed is too.
Well, I was gonna wash the sheets. You just came back earlier than I expected you to. Like, I would have cleaned it up and made sure it was okay before you came back. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Okay, so what if Steve and I went into your room and started making out on your bed, and you walked in? How would you feel? Bad, because that's nasty.
We didn't make out on your bed. He fell asleep.
He was drunk.
Okay. We're gonna pause real quick, okay? So, want to check in. Kate, are you still good to participate in this process?
I'm fine.
Jane, how are you?
Feeling feisty.
All right, I know. So here's what I would like to happen. As I talked about this part about reflecting on what the other person said. And sometimes we need to geographically do that for our brains to kick in. So what we're going to do, Jane.
Are you going to make me sit over there?
I am. And then Kate, you're going to switch seats if you both are willing.
I guess that's fine.
All right, so we're going to switch seats.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay. Kate, since Jane went first, you're going to go first this time. Kate, I want you to I want you to tell Jane what you heard. What is Jane feeling that you read, that you felt, and then Jane, you're going to do the same thing for Kate. You good with that?
I think so.
All right, Kate, what is Jane feeling?
she's feeling like I'm the bad guy and that I messed up one time and let some person who I do know, and they're really good friends of mine, so it's not a stranger, by the way, but let somebody sleep in her bed. And I left her a note and about the rent, and, like, she was upset about that, but I'm sorry, like she said, she's never there. So I don't know how she expects me to tell her when she's not there. But I know that she feels like that wasn't the right way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. She's also feeling like I don't participate in all our chores, but I do a lot around the house.
Apartment.
Now, Kate, was that
Sorry.
Jane's perspective or was that Kate's perspective? Don't answer.
Part of that was my perspective.
Okay. Let's try it again. I really want you to focus on what is Jane's perspective.
She feels like I'm not a good roommate for not doing my chores and for letting people sleep in her bed one time.
Okay. That was good. Anything else? We'll get there, Jane.
She feels that I don't communicate properly with her.
Okay. Jane, is that what we're doing right now? Jane, I want you to hear and share what Kate's perspective is. Not what Jane's perspective is. I want you to reflect on what Kate's perspective is.
Okay. Well, Kate thinks that I don't like her anymore because I spent all my time with Steve and that I'm not around. And I'm not there for her anymore because I'm not around. And that I need to communicate better if I can't pay the rent because paying the rent's a big deal.
Okay. Now, I know you had something else that you feel that Kate missed. So I want to give you the opportunity. Is there something that Kate didn't say that you're actually feeling?
I just, like, she forgot about the Steve thing, and that's really important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's being mean to him, and, like, I hate when people are mean to him and to me.
Okay. Kate, is there anything that you feel that Jane missed?
I don't think so.
Okay. So what I think could be helpful is if there is there anything else that we feel like we want to have, like anything else we need to share.
Not right now.
Okay. So here's what I would like to do if you both agree. I'd like to speak to you one-on-one just briefly for 1 minute, and then the other person's going to go in the other room so we can talk so that we can start getting transitioned to the resolution piece. Because now I feel like if we all agree that everything has been shared that needs to be shared, then we can talk about a resolution.
Okie dokie.
Who wants to go first?
I'll leave the room.
Okay. You can just head over there to the other table. Kate, how was that for you?
That was frustrating because I don't feel like a lot of what she said is right.
What do you mean by right?
Like I said, I do a lot of chores around the house, and just because I don't necessarily take the trash out every week like I'm supposed to doesn't mean that I'm not helping out with all the other chores.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I do my dishes, I put everything away, I keep mostly everything nice, and she just sounds like she thinks I'm just a big slob who doesn't do my chores.
Mm.
And I don't think that's right.
So it sounds like what I'm hearing is that you do a whole lot more than just take the trash out.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I do forget, but that's not like, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, people forget to do some things sometimes. Like,
What about the other things that Jane brought up?
I mean, I have said a couple things that I probably shouldn't have about her boyfriend, Steve, but that was mainly, like, when I was angry that she was spending all her time with him and never talking to me anymore.
Okay.
So, I don't, like, yeah, it was kind of rude what I did say about him, but it was kind of in the moment. Like, people get angry and
Yep.
they express it through their words sometimes, and that's what I felt like I did. I don't think I'm actually, like, mean to him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
as I talked about transitioning to the resolution piece, what I want you to think about is, so what would it look like to have the healthy relationship? Not necessarily be friends, but what does a healthy relationship look like? So does that mean you do a chore wheel? Does that mean you both have clear expectations with each other of when rent is paid? Or maybe some validation being present, of being like, hey, you did this and I saw that was important. So as I talk with Jane, when you step out, I want you to think about what would it look like? What would a healthy relationship look like? So that way we can put some tangible steps together to make this work. Can you do that for me?
Okay.
All right. Jane, welcome back.
Which chair should I sit in?
Whichever one you'd like.
This one better.
Great. So how was that for you?
It made me so mad. Now I'm just fired up, ready to just go get them.
Go get, like, them or, like, Kate?
This makes me want to, like, punch a wall.
Okay. So, do you think then this is a point where, because I remember when you originally came in, you were like, I'm moving out. I'm done.
Yeah.
Do you still think that's where you're at, or is it salvageable?
I definitely think a lot of things have to change. But, like, I see where I was wrong about the rent thing now.
Mm-hmm.
But she, like, I can't handle passive-aggressive people. And I can also not handle people, like, touching my stuff.
Yeah.
So if none of that changes, I'm definitely moving out. Because
Okay.
I can't live in an environment like that.
Yeah. So, you said some things definitely have to change. It sounds like your space. It sounds like also, with regards to Steve, having respect in the house. And it all sounds like you're a pretty direct communicator, and so you would prefer that means of communication.
Yes.
Okay. So, I'm going to bring Kate back in. And
She got more time with you alone than I did.
do you have anything else you want to share?
No.
Okay. Because, yes, I did have a little bit more time with Kate, and it was more of, if you're good to keep rolling, we'll keep rolling.
Okay.
So I need you, though, if we are going to make this work, like, you need to be willing to make it work. So if you said some things have to change,
Yeah.
let's get those on paper. That's what's important.
Okay. But it better be a signed contract so that when she breaks it, then, like, what then, you know?
And we can talk about that. Okay. Kate! Hello!
Don't do that. I'm trying to stay not laughing.
Okay, Kate, welcome back.
Hi.
So as I told you, now we're going to transition a little bit more into the conflict resolution piece. And I've asked you both to sort of think about what it would look like to have a healthy relationship tangibly. So, like, what are some practical steps that you need and also that you can take, because this is both ways, right? I think we can agree to that. Both have done stuff that we're like, all right, that probably wasn't great. So,
Some more than others.
okay, Jane, it's not helpful. And so we really want to emphasize steps that we individually can take and then steps that we would like to see the roommate take as well. So, Jane, I'm going to let you go second, just because Kate had some time to process. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So, okay, steps that you would like Jane to take, and then steps that you are going to take.
Can I do steps like we both should take too?
It can be a both, too. Absolutely.
Okay, I think first off, communication is obviously a big deal between both of us. Neither of us are completely communicating, which obviously is part of the reason why we're here in the first place.
Mhm.
So I think we need to set up like maybe a communication time, like we can talk like once every other week or something, and make sure we're both kind of on the same page. I think just for both of us, maybe that'd be a little helpful to kind of know like, well, this person's doing this, like, because I know chores was a big deal. So we can kind of talk about that, and we can talk about rent at that time, and like maybe even just talk friend-wise also, because I miss that.
Almost like a get-together.
Yeah.
Like every 2 weeks, like get coffee.
I mean, like, and
Just
if
set a date
anything,
for
we
it.
could make it longer between or shorter between, just like at least once a month, I think is good.
Time to check in on
Yeah.
chores, on bills, and then also work at having some of that friendship piece.
Yeah.
Is what I'm hearing?
So from her, I think steps that she can take would definitely be to let me know when she's not happy with me. Because obviously, like, I didn't know too much about, like, her not liking the trash.
Mm-hmm.
And, yes, I'm sorry about Steve and what I said.
Thank you.
But, I mean, that was, like, I don't mean to do that. and I just kind of would have appreciated her to tell me that she was upset with me about that before, because I didn't know she was mad at me because of Steve. Like, so obviously communication is a lot of our problem, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So that's definitely, I think, a step that she can work on too. For me, maybe, I guess, trying not to write notes to her and trying to be more direct instead. And also not being so mean sometimes about her and Steve, because I do understand and appreciate how much he means to her, but it's just a little frustrating sometimes because I do feel left out. But I'll try and work on that, and I'll try and take the trash out more.
Yeah, I think that's brave to sort of own it and sort of put your tail between your legs and say, I'll do this. So, thank you. Jane, same question. The we, the I, and the you.
Okay. I'll start with the her. I definitely think that one of the ways that, like, we need to improve is, like, our chore chart needs to be followed. Because, like, right now it's like, Kate, like, take the trash out, wash the dishes. But it should be Kate, take the trash out on Tuesdays, wash the dishes on Wednesdays, so that, like, and then, like, put, like, a day for my chores too, so that, like, we have something to hold ourselves accountable to, and then it's not as awkward when we're like, yo, you didn't do this. It's because, like, you're supposed to do it this day. Like, no questions asked.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that we could implement in the apartment. I respect that she apologized about Steve, and I really appreciate that you did that. So I'm really hoping that, like, you were honest in your apology and that we can move forward with this. About the whole Steve thing. And, like, I do realize I didn't pay the bill on time, and so I think that could also be, like, I'll just be more better about communicating, like, what's going on in my life. I think the coffee date thing would be fine. Let's start out with, like, once a month, or, like, once every, like, 3 weeks, just to, like, let things calm down, and then once we can get back on a friendship level, maybe we can do more. But I also think that she forgot about the bed situation.
Okay. And what would you like to see resolved about that?
If my door is closed, my door is closed, and it's my area. Like, I don't go into her room. So, like, I want to be able to spend time with Kate and be able to, like, be her friend again and hang out with her. And, like, if she wants to come in my room to hang out with me, that's totally fine if I'm there and my door's open. But if I'm there and my door is closed, she could knock, which I'm not saying she hasn't. But if I'm not there, like, no in my room unless I'm like, yo, like, I forgot my book, can you bring it to class? Which I would do for her, definitely. Like, just respecting the space and only going in it, like, when allowed.
Okay.
I think that covers it all.
Okay. How'd that land for both of you? Like, are these things that we can agree to?
I think they're pretty mutual.
Yeah.
I did forget about that bed situation. I'm sorry, but
It's okay. We're turning a new leaf. I'll forgive you. As long as it doesn't happen again.
okay.
And so part of this is you two sticking to this. This is not a legal contract or anything like that. This is both efforts have to be there, and it can work. And I think at any time, I'm going to type this up and give it to you all as like an agreement. I would encourage you both to sign it and maybe hang it somewhere visible. So like in a fridge, a closet, wherever you all see the wall. Be a great spot, just so you both can see it frequently and know what you both agreed to. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you both did a great job. We're going to pause it there. And I'm going to send this both out to an email to both of you. Should something change and something reoccur, don't feel like you can't come up to me. And I would still encourage you to both have this kind of conversation while also being able to do that exercise mentally of, okay, what is this person feeling? So that way, because I think sometimes when we debate, we get so entrenched in how we feel, it's harder to see the other side.
Definitely.
Okay, Great. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Yay! Okay.
There were so many times I just wanted to laugh.
Same.